Less than 100 days until the election, and Donald Trump is in a heated debate with Khizr Khan, the father of a U.S. soldier, a Muslim, who gave his life to protect his comrades. Khan made national news during the DNC when he criticized Trump's statements about Muslims and immigration. Now, this is Risk and Reward. I'm Adam Shapiro in for Deirdre Bolton. Donald Trump tried to clarify his remarks about the family of the late Captain Humayun Khan, who was killed while serving in Iraq. This statement was released after an ABC broadcast in which Trump appeared to criticize the captain's father. Quote, "Captain Humayun Khan was a hero to our country, and we should honor all who have made the ultimate sacrifice to keep our country safe. While I feel deeply for the loss of his son, Mr. Khan, who has never met me, has no right to stand in front of millions of people and claim, 'I have never read the Constitution,' which is false, and say many other inaccurate things." Now, the families of 11 service members who died fighting for the United States are demanding an apology from Trump, accusing him of, and this is a quote, "cheapening the sacrifice made by those we lost." Trump campaign national co-chair Sam Clovis joins me now, and it's good to have you here, Sam. We appreciate you talking to us about this. Is this the kind of stumble for Donald Trump from which he won't be able to recover?
I don't think so. I think that this is, we've got to remember that the American people will make, will make the decision on who the next president's going to be. We were 99 days today and 98 tomorrow away from the election. A lot of water is going to go under the bridge before we get there, and I think that this is yet another thing. I think one of the things I wanted to mention, Adam,
yes, is
that a lot of people inside the Beltway, I'm in D.C. right now, and a lot of people inside New York, a lot of people in the bubble, as I call it, are going to, there's a lot of fomentation right now. But and I'm not trying to marginalize this or rationalize this at all, but I do think that we really have to take a hard look at how the American people are going to react to this, and I think we're a long ways from knowing that.
Well, I need to ask you some tough questions about this, because
Sure.
The American people outside of the bubble,
you can ask me anything.
The VFW is reacting. John McCain's reacting. Let me start with the VFW. They put out a statement saying that, election year or not, the VFW will not tolerate anyone berating a Gold Star family member for exercising his or her right of speech or expression. And I don't have to tell you, Senator McCain, the first quote we've got from Senator McCain, he issued a statement saying, "While our party has bestowed upon him the nomination, it is not accompanied by unfettered license to defame those who are the best among us." I was talking to a source who said that this is the kind of thing, the polls, we'll get to the numbers in a second, but this is the kind of thing that haunts Trump today and for the next couple of weeks, and now is not the time for this.
Well, I would say that there are a couple of things here I think that are important to bring up. One is that I'm a veteran, the son of a veteran, the brother of a veteran, father of a veteran. I fully understand this. I've had to go make the notifications myself to people that their loved ones weren't coming home. It's a heavy heart and a heavy lift to do that. I get this, and I fully empathize with the Khan family, and I get that. There's an issue here, though. They walked out on that stage and they took something that doesn't require a modifier, and that's American soldier, and they put a modifier on it, and they used the term Muslim American soldier. And when an enemy is firing at us, they don't take into account whether we're black or white, whether we're Muslim or Catholic. The issue is that the American soldier swears an oath to the Constitution, and that is really what happened there. Is this became a political issue, and I'm not exactly sure that was the full intent. I mean, I know it was dramatic, what we saw at the Democrat National Convention, but I'm not sure that the ramifications of politicizing the death of a fine young man really, and the consequences of that, I'm not sure that was fully thought out.
Let me ask you why not? Because Mr. Trump did, and he's changed back and forth his stance on what kind of vetting procedure we should have for Syrian refugees who, for the most part, are Muslim. And you said that the soldiers in the country do swear an oath to the Constitution. But what about Mr. Trump's understanding of the Constitution, which would be whether you're Muslim or Christian or Jewish or Buddhist or Scientologist?
Adam, you're conflating issues. You're conflating issues. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think that one of the things when you're conflating the notion that a person that does not live in the United States, that is not a United States citizen, does not have the protection of the Constitution.
Right. What I'm saying, though, is that the Khan family is a Muslim family, and they feel under attack by Mr. Trump.
Well, I would ask also that we would, and I think Mr. Khan has brought this up himself, that there probably ought to be more of a dialogue from the Muslim community to help us go out here and deal with these issues, not only in the United States, but around the world. And I think this is really, you know, one of the things, Mr. Trump's really not wavered on this issue. We've talked about it, a temporary suspension so that we could fix our immigration system, so we could upgrade our technology, we could get our allies on board in helping us with the biometrics and the screening of individuals coming to this country, so that we actually know who they are and why they're coming and how they're going to support themselves when they're here. These are all, by the way, Adam, this is the law of the country. This is the law of the land. And the fact that the law of the land is not being enforced right now probably speaks as much to this issue about immigration as anything.
So let me just, you are the kind of man who, as you said, you're a veteran and you are related to veterans across your family. What within Mr. Trump perhaps prevents him from just saying, you know what, to the Khans, I'm sorry, I should not have made the comment about Mrs. Khan perhaps not speaking for the reasons he did, and just move on with a simple apology? Is he capable of doing that?
I don't think he's incapable of anything. I know him as a warm and generous person. He's loyal. I've seen him with veterans. You ought to see how veterans react to him and how he reacts to veterans. This is an individual that I think is the one distinguished feature, and I've been asked many times over the last 4 or 5 days, as I'm sure you can imagine. So who would you rather trust? Would you rather trust Mr. Trump or Mrs. Clinton? And I served 7 presidents when I was on active duty, and I never felt for a moment that one of them would ever leave me on the battlefield. I don't think Mr. Trump would leave me on the battlefield. I can't say that about Mrs. Clinton. And for me, that's the best test, and that's the biggest test right now.
Sam, I appreciate your taking what are some difficult questions from us, and in part it's motivated by that VFW statement. But I really do appreciate your being honest with us and talking with us this evening. All the best to you, sir.
Thanks, Adam.